Illuminated by candlelight across the globe, these words form a piece of Christian liturgy repeated by hundreds of millions of people every week. Through decades of rote repetition, the syllables blur. This extreme familiarity often strips away the heavy theological mechanics operating beneath the surface. To see those mechanics, we must look at the original Koine Greek text of Matthew 6. Here, the words operate as a dense, highly complex structural algorithm. The text provides a rigorous architectural blueprint. It forces a collision between vast divine eschatology, the ultimate cosmic order, and the raw requirements of human survival. Here, the algorithm separates into two distinct halves. The mechanism holding the top cosmic tier and the bottom earthly tier together focuses on the immediate present day. Deconstructing this text phrase by phrase exposes its precise gears. The Greek syntax executes a sharp synthesis, pulling ancient Jewish traditions forward and locking them into an urgent present-tense reality. The structure opens with an uncompromising directive: "Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name." The first constraint lies in the morphology of the word himon, our. It mandates a communal framework. The language requires the practitioner to approach the divine as part of a collective rather than as an independent operator. The text then deploys the passive imperative verb, hagiasthito, hallowed or sanctified. This specific imperative anchors the text in Second Temple Judaism, linking it directly to the ancient Aramaic Kaddish prayer found on fragments from that era. Both the Kaddish and the Matthew text follow the exact same logical sequence. They assert the absolute universal authority of Yahweh before any human request is authorized. Matthew introduces an immediate paradox, addressing the ultimate sovereign using the biological concept of a father. This diagram illustrates the resulting tension. The intimacy of an earthly ancestor collides against the immense spatial distance of a cosmic authority residing in heaven, whose very name must be hallowed. The opening sequence forces the practitioner to abandon their own ego. Establishing communal identity and absolute divine priority are strict prerequisites for engagement. The text immediately advances to two specific conditions: "Your kingdom come, your will be done." The Greek word for kingdom, basileia, and the verb erkomai, to come, operate as fierce declarative demands for action. They leave no room for wishing. In the first century, Jewish historical theology anticipated a very specific outcome: the arrival of a physical, political Davidic kingdom to overthrow Roman occupation. Jesus' formulation bypasses that chronological, political expectation entirely. The theological shift is a spatial alignment. The objective is dragging the physical earth upward to meet heaven's established standard of operation. This task requires navigating the intense friction between the self-serving human will and the execution of a perfect divine will. The 20th century theologian Karl Barth dedicated extensive analysis to this exact phrase. Barth recognized that willingly submitting to a higher divine order cuts directly against the grain of human nature and inherent fallenness. He defined this submission as a violent, active revolt against disorder and human willfulness. Praying for the kingdom requires a radical, daily, active commitment to overthrow human selfishness and replace it with divine order. Having established the cosmic rules of the top hemisphere, the algorithm pivots sharply downward. The next phrase crosses the dividing line into the physical reality: "Give us our daily bread." The syntax locks onto the temporal marker simeron, today. The practitioner is strictly forbidden from projecting into the future. Dependence is trapped completely in the harsh, immediate present tense. This is reinforced by the linguistic rarity of epiousion, a word for daily so specialized it exists almost nowhere else in ancient literature. Charting this against the Kaddish reveals a massive structural divergence in how the two liturgies resolve. The Kaddish resolves abstractly, requesting the establishment of peace. The Christian text resolves with a gritty, baseline request for physical calories. For the early church, this request for artos, bread, carried specific ritual weight. By selecting a term later synonymous with the communal breaking of bread, the text merges the necessity of the daily meal with the early Christian meaning of the Eucharist. This represents a significant theological shift in understanding the nature of the divine. The algorithm clearly frames God as an intimate, physical provider. The eschatological king is found in the distribution of bread. This phrase operates as the crucial architectural hinge. It pulls the vast cosmic kingdom out of the sky and roots it in the dirt. The algorithm closes with conditions regarding the forgiveness of debts and protection from temptation. The forgiveness petition operates as a strict logic gate. It is transactional. A believer's debts are cleared only in proportion to the debts they clear for others. Forgiveness functions as a strict horizontal community metric. Standing with the divine becomes a direct extension of earthly social accounting. A practitioner's vertical standing with God relies entirely on the functional health of their earthly relationships. The final output requests that the practitioner not be led into temptation, but delivered from evil. Much like a cellular immune response isolating an invasive pathogen, this petition requests active spiritual protection against inevitable external hostilities. It cultivates a highly precise psychological attitude designed to preemptively reject yielding to sin before the choice even materializes. These final relational clauses provide the practical toolkit. They make surviving the heavy eschatological demands of the first half possible in daily life. Looking at the completed structural algorithm, the architecture is flawlessly balanced. The top hemisphere rigorously demands a communal orientation and forces the recognition of ultimate divine sovereignty. The bottom hemisphere urgently requests the physical calories and the relational forgiveness necessary to survive the immediate present. The specific linguistic mechanism of on earth as it is in heaven is the vector that fuses these two realities together permanently. Early Christians utilized this exact structure to preserve the depth of Jewish liturgical tradition while executing a radical shift toward present tense reliance. The text provides the foundational blueprint for Christian existence, an active, daily bridge between the cosmic and the gritty reality of life.